Hi, everyone. Um, so we're going to talk about the Aquarius new moon energies that are sort of happening throughout this week. It was pretty strong yesterday. It was kind of a mixed bag between people. I heard from a lot of people that it was a softer energy that they felt like they could move into. Um, and I know for a lot of other people, it's more of recognizing where they're holding themselves back because the new moon wants to push you forward. And this is a really good time to start new projects and get inspired, especially with Mercury moving into Pisces later this week on the 10th of February, where Mercury in Pisces is more imaginative than any other sign. A lot of people talk about how Mercury in Pisces is in detriment, and I've never really seen it that way, just because yes, it can make your brain a little bit foggy. Yes, it can like mix up communication. That will be true for sure in March when it goes retrograde on March 4th. So towards the end of February, and we'll talk about this when it comes time to, but towards the end of February when Mercury goes into its shadow period before it goes retrograde in Pisces, um, communication could get mixed. And, we always talk about how, I know I always say that sometimes things are lost in translation when it comes to text messaging people or something like that. Like, I would much rather have a conversation with them. So when Mercury's in Pisces, text messaging and stuff like that could kind of become a little bit more confusing. So make sure that you're saying what you mean and meaning what you say, and try not to mix up the lines with that. But I feel like with Mercury and Pisces, especially with this new moon, it is all about being inspired and it is about the imagination. We're at the final degrees of Chiron in Pisces also. So this big Pisces transit is moving into Aries, and when we get Chiron into Aries, it's going to be more of where am I wounded, and where am I wounded with the self, instead of where does everybody else, where are my wounds when it comes to everybody else. Um, and we will be able to kind of stand up for ourselves a little bit more as Chiron moves into Aries when it comes to the woundings that really need to surface. But going back to the new moon energy, I know for myself that it was pretty heavy yesterday, because I was recognizing where I would be holding myself, where I am holding myself back, where I need to catapult myself forward. Um, but if you're not in a good space, and I felt a lot of the collective energy too, and if you're not really in a good space, and if the collective isn't really in a good space, that can bring a lot of dark mindset to you. Like, I know that I have the potential to do this, but your ego's telling you, no, you don't have the potential to do this. You need to stay where you are because you're not good enough, or this and this and this. If you went through that yesterday, um, just know that your ego does not have control over all of the new inspirational ideas that can push you forward in your soul's growth. So it was a pretty heavy energy, for me and for some people that I was very close to. So, and I kind of saw like the progression of it, like as it was going through the evening. And I was just like, oh man, I just want to go to sleep. And then it was really hard for me to sleep. So um, if you went through that and you kind of like you were a little forced to recognize where you've been holding yourself back versus all of the new things that you should be doing, because on a good day you can actually like really pick yourself up and like get moving forward and get things done. um, Yesterday was meant to show you how to catapult yourself forward and how to not get stuck in an energy of fear and illusion. So, um, there's not a lot going on. Venus is in Capricorn now. I like Venus in Capricorn because it's very practical, but I'm a girl that has Venus in Virgo, so there's that practicality sense. Um, it's and with, let's see, so like on Valentine's Day, Mars will also be moving into Taurus. And I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because this really is just a focus until about the 10th of February, but kind of forward looking with Venus in Capricorn and Mars in Taurus on the 14th. Mars is ruled by Venus. So if you are wanting to grow a relationship or start a new relationship, there will be, Capricorn is all about getting out there and getting things done. So, and Mars being in Taurus and ruling that planet that is in a sign of wanting to get things done, it's going to be probably pretty easy for you to feel like I'm ready, like I'm ready to get something started. I'm ready to get a relationship going. If that's what you're interested in. If you're not interested in relationships, love on yourself, buy yourself flowers, buy yourself a steak dinner. I'm not a really big Valentine's Day girl. I am the person that will say love people every day of the year and not just on one particular day where you have to spend a whole lot of money to prove that you love someone. But that's just me. I live outside of the box anyways, so you guys know that about me. Let's get some energies for this week. There isn't as much going on this week as there was last week. But just know that this new moon is helping you catapult yourself to do new projects. And if you felt that heaviness where you had to kind of like look at yourself while Pisces is in those last degrees of Chiron, or Chiron is in those last degrees of Pisces, sorry, really having to look at yourself and see where you're holding yourself back and see where, and maybe even, there is kind of a a detachment here, like non-attachment going on where I have to pull myself away from the world so I can figure out, a friend of mine texted me this morning, yesterday, there were, texts of I need to detach from things. And today my friend was like, one of my best, Eric with Divine Conversations, texted me and he was like, is this new moon like helping with like detaching from things? And I'm like, yeah, it's, really having to look at yourself and see what you want to do, what the new stuff you want to, now is a perfect time. If you want to start something new, now is a perfect time to do it. And if you've kind of been leading yourself up to this, don't tell yourself lies that you can't get it done. Because this is a perfect energy to start things and be inspired. So let's kind of just see what the overall energy is for the week. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have reach out, which is the Three of Pentacles, which is exactly what I was talking about. This is starting new projects. This is building from the ground up. This is also getting your crew together and collaborating on new things. And then we have Simply Love, which is the Six of Cups. So I feel like a lot of people are recognizing that the things that they've always really loved in their life, like even from childhood, the things are really embedded within their soul. There could be a soul connection that you really want to get together with and collaborate on things this week. The Six of Cups often talks about soulmates. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It just could be like a soulmate kind of relationship, where you just get along with like you guys just know that you're each other's humans, is what the way that I like to really put it. Either in a romantic way or a non-romantic way. But I feel like this is a week of bringing yourself together with other people. Aquarius is all about collaboration and coming into, that's what Aquarius season is. That's what Aquarius is all about. Innovation, new projects, new things. So I feel like there is a very big energy right now of getting things off the ground, starting things and collaborating with other people, because when you have people from your soul tribe, they're with you and you're having a hard time motivating yourself or getting yourself started or making yourself think that, I can do this. I'm good enough. I'm, like the Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. You need that, and if you feel like you need to detach from the world right now, that's perfectly fine. But make sure that you're not doing it so much to where when other people want to help you and other people are trying to reach out to you and help you in a way, that they're not available, or that, that you can't be available for them, or they're not available for you. because there is a sense of needing to come together and be with people right now. Yes, a lot of energy surrounding new things. We have the World and the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So closing out cycles so you can see the future. And there might have been a lot of heart chakra purging. There might have been a lot of just chakras, really, root chakra purging, solar plexus chakra purging. I felt that this weekend, for sure. I felt a lot of that, like heart chakra clearing happened a lot this weekend for me. And I feel like there are some cycles that still need to be closed out, or you have closed them out because you see such a bigger future and you're confident about it. You want to feel that confidence and that sense of accomplishment. We don't do that. Other way. Turn the cards the other way. I was actually called out. Somebody told me that I was cheating one time by shuffling the cards upright. So I'm like, all right, if that's how we want to do it, that's fine. They're still going to come out the way that they want to come out, but whatever. So the Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups. If you're still a little bit confused about, what do I need to leave behind in order to see my path clearly, I feel like this is being revealed to you this week. And I think a lot of it has to do with self-doubt. And I think a lot, because leaving things behind doesn't have to be in a physical sense. It doesn't even have to be in an emotional sense. It could totally be mental, right? You could be up in your head and saying all these lies to yourself about how you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or you're not ready, or you're not in a good space, or you're this or this or this or this, and beating yourself up. And that's what you need to leave behind. That's what that Eight of Cups is representing, the emotional and mental capacity of, the past, right? And then we have the Six of Cups again. And I do feel like you have people supporting you around. I feel like there's this big support system that you can rely on. So again, yes, detachment is very good right now, but don't do it in a sense where you're isolating yourself completely, because I do feel like there's a need and a sense to have the connection around that's going to, we all need that like extra boost, right? And if you don't have that, I feel like that's coming in. I feel like there is a soul connection that will be coming in to collaborate with some of you. If you don't already have it, could possibly be a fire sign, or you could be the fire sign. Let's see but it's just somebody who's very confident, who's very sure of themselves, who holds a lot of energy, is probably extremely spiritual, and can help walk, on your path. See, the closing out of cycles is bringing some clarity. The Six of Swords on the World. The closing out of old cycles, the old way of doing things, the old way of saying things to yourself, the old lies that you tell yourself. The closing out of those. And why? Because we want to see, look at this guy. He's waiting for his ships to come in. I always say with the Three of Wands, don't stand there and wait for too long. Get on a rowboat and go out to the ship yourself. You don't have to always wait for it. But if you feel like you're still in a stagnancy spot of really waiting for things to happen to you, you need to get yourself out there and do it for yourself. Take the risk. Take the risk. Take the risk on yourself. The biggest and best risk you will ever take is on yourself. Not on other people, but on yourself. And there might be a lot of planning involved when this happens, right? If you do feel like you're in a stuck state of mind right now where things are kind of going slowly, you got to remember that things are still happening, because even though the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest energy in the deck, he's still moving forward. He's still producing results. And he's doing it in a methodical and analytical way. He's doing it in the right way. He's not rushing in and making mistakes. I think that's a really big misconception, that when we take risks on ourselves or we know that we need to go in a new direction, we have to do it right now instead of taking those much needed steps forward. Like, you don't have to change your entire life in one day. Sometimes that happens, but for the most part, you don't have to change your life in one day. You can take the much needed steps forward in order to get there. Let's see, Queen of Wands. I feel like this is a person in your life. I'm not really, it could be you. It could be you feeling that confidence to move forward. I feel like this is a person that's giving back to you. Also, with the Six of Pentacles, I do feel like this is a person that's kind of giving back to you. And if you also feel like you're giving your energy too much to a particular situation that's not showing you results or giving you the credit where credit is due kind of thing, I feel like you need to switch up your mindset with the Six of Swords over here. I feel like there's a need to stop giving so much time and effort to things that aren't happening for you. If you constantly feel like you're hitting your head up against a brick wall in a certain situation in your life, like if it has to do with career, if it has to do with a relationship, any situation that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to deal with this again, or I can't believe I have to feel this way again. If you're in a situation like that, stop. There's no need to give all your energy to something that obviously isn't going to work, no matter how hard you try to get it to work. And that can, again, be in a relationship, be at work, be, be whatever you keep trying to do over and over and over again, and it's not producing the results you want to see, just stop. There's no need to continue. Two of Swords. Yeah. I think that the unknown is a really big fear here, but regret's going to be a bigger fear if you don't get out of the Nine of Swords state, because this is kind of that dark energy that I was talking about yesterday. You get into a Nine of Swords state when you're lying to yourself about who you are. And you get into a Nine of Swords state when it's like you're like projecting your own negative energies onto yourself over and over and over again. So instead of doing that to yourself, take the blindfold off that's in the Two of Swords and make a decision. You can easily get out of that, the Two of Swords, right? The Nine of Swords is a little bit harder to get out of. Sometimes you need to have somebody actually pull you out of the Nine of Swords once you get there. And remember, with the Wheel of Fortune on the Eight of Cups, this is literally saying you can shift the energy at any time. When you decide to leave all of that emotional baggage behind, when you decide that you're no longer going to sit in the fear and illusion of what your ego is telling you or what you're lying to yourself about, that you can't do it, that you can't start it, when you shift the energy and you allow yourself to move forward in a direction where you're taking a risk on you and not being held back by anything else. The best person you can invest in is yourself. Not everybody else, but yourself. That was a very tough lesson I learned on this journey. Because I hold space and I have such a big energy that I could hold space for a lot of people and a lot of empaths and readers and intuitives and psychics and clairvoyants. And we can do that. Like, we're built. We are literally, our cells and our soul, it's built to hold space for a lot of people. But when we are not recharging ourselves, we can get into the Nine of Swords too. So when people are like nagging me about getting things done, and I'm not like doing a woe is me pity party here, I'm just giving an example. When people nag me about getting readings done because it's taking too long or readings are late or something like that, I want you to kind of stop and pull yourself back and be like, oh, she probably needs to recharge, because this isn't all I do. So you have to remember to do that for yourself. when you're holding space for other people, when you're giving your energy out to other people, you have to remember that sometimes you just have to walk away. And that's how you can shift the energy and pull yourself out of the Nine of Swords. And it's not even walking away for good. All of these cups are still standing. When you get back from that journey, when you get back from that recharge, that refreshment, those cups will still be there, and they'll probably be full and not just half full. The best investment you can make is in yourself. So 6 of Cups. I do feel like there's kind of a soul family vibe. Man, that 7 of Cups is following us. I feel like that's Mercury and Pisces. Oh, and the new moon, actually. The Ace of Swords on the 6 of Cups. I do feel like you have a group of people that can help you with ideas, that can help you find clarity within the chaos, find clarity within all of the options, the 7 of Cups options that you have. But you have to put yourself out there to do it. And you have to put yourself out there in a way where you want to collaborate and not necessarily just sit in your own little world of sadness, right? So if you need to detach, please detach. Allow yourself to do that. It's okay. It's a healthy thing to do. But then come back and make sure that you're connecting with the people that you need to connect with in order to move forward on your journey. We have Justice and the 3 of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles and the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles. The Emperor, the 3 of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. I feel like there is a sense of not being good enough or not feeling good enough for a situation. Again, you know, telling yourself lies. Like, I'm not good enough. I don't have the chops. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, whether that's in a relationship or whether that's in business, it doesn't, you know, or family situation or whatever. The karmic balance here that's going to happen in your life with the 3 of Cups is, again, collaboration and getting together with other people and allowing yourself to know that this 6 of Cups crew that you have, or the 6 of Cups connection, because it could just be one other person, but the 6 of Cups connection that you have is very, very valuable in your growth. But if you are unsure of yourself, you need to, I feel like this Tower moment with the 5 of Pentacles this week and the Queen of Pentacles is kind of recognition of where you're holding yourself back by thinking that you have a lack mentality, when in reality you're doing much better than you really are. You're standing firm. This could actually also be kind of a comforting, motherly type, and not even really motherly, but like a comforting energy that makes the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles a little softer for you. But in all reality, this Tower and this 5 of Pentacles has to happen. This is kind of what I was talking about with the heavy energy, and maybe I felt it a little bit early. Maybe it's coming in a little bit later this week. Because that happens often. Like, I'll feel this really, really heavy energy and nobody else is really feeling it. I know that I was feeling it with one other person yesterday for sure. But a lot of times I'll feel the energy early so I can kind of warn people. And I don't know if that's something that a lot of people were going through yesterday. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you felt that really heavy energy, if it was kind of a collective thing. Because there was really no reason for me to be in that space. It was I knew that it wasn't really mine, but I still had to work through it. And I learned a lot of things about myself during the process too, about how to, through one of my best friends, she kind of talked me off the ledge, right? Like, that's how we say it, right? She talks you off the ledge. But I feel like this Tower moment is where you're having to recognize where you're holding yourself back and where you really need to push yourself forward. And maybe there's somebody that's holding space for you while you do it. And this could be happening now. It could be happening later on in the week. But the opportunity for the heart chakra clearing, I feel like the Three of Swords with this Ace of Wands and the Three of Swords and the Emperor is for you to gain more control of your emotions and the opportunities that are coming to you. That heart chakra clearing, like it's time to take the swords out. And the swords, like the Three of Swords, again, swords are thoughts, it's communication. And when we are beating ourselves up and we're in a Three of Swords space, our heart has probably already been broken, or we've broken our own heart. And then those swords are just the memories or the constant like wheel turning in our head over and over and over again, where we're like still saying those negative things, or we're lying to ourselves is what I like to call it. The negative thought processes that you go through, it's really lying to yourself, right? So take the heart chakra healing that you're going through, the heart chakra activations and healings that you're going through right now, and use it as an opportunity to gain more control, because Mars is still in Aries, right? And Mars rules Aries. And having this new moon and Mars in Aries is a really big opportunity. This next 10 days that we have before Mars moves into Taurus, take the clearing of all of those past hurts and pains and stab wounds and the band-aids that have been holding the bleeding at bay. Like, take it all off. Let it breathe. Let it air out. Let it heal. Because I know a lot of people have really let go of some things in their life and needed to let go of things in their life, whether it's a person, whether it's a place, whether it's a thing, doesn't matter. What you are letting go of right now is making space in your life for newer, bigger, and better things to come. Because there's no way that you can have all those newer things when your life is cluttered with the old. And then you can make big decisions, right? Two of Wands. And you can do them with an emotional capacity and stability that you didn't have before. Four of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles. And you can be confident in them that you're going to charge forward. And really there is a connection here that with the Lovers, with the Six of Cups, there's a person that you can count on to help you push through all of this, but you have to recognize your own strength within it first before this can happen, before the Lovers can happen, before that union. This could also be you recognizing your divine masculine and your divine feminine within yourself this week as well. Because I do see a lot of masculine and feminine energies. There's mostly feminine energies in this reading, but then the Emperor shows up, right? So it's almost like there needs to be more of a balance going from your divine feminine energies and kind of taking control of your life and of your situations and not letting the past define you anymore. The past should never define you, because you're not the same person as you were yesterday, and you're not the same person as you were a month ago, and you're not the same person you were 6 months ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, a year. I don't care. You're not the same person you were 5 minutes ago. You're the same person you were when you started watching this video. Did I drill it in? The opportunities are in front of you. And if you need to have the emotional reset this week, take it. But don't, we're also doing the Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the pig. And the pig was the slowest animal to get to the Emperor. So you can take the opportunity of taking things really, really, so we're like at the end of a 12-year cycle, right? Because the pig is the very last of the Chinese zodiac symbols. And this year is all about, are you going to recognize your potential and take things in a very slow moving way and allow yourself to do it the right way and not rush into things? Or are you going to get really, really lazy and not get anything accomplished? Those are like your two options with the Chinese New Year or the Chinese Year of the Pig. So allow yourself to gain your independence and gain your stability after this Tower moment, after this very emotional feeling, like sense of lack mentality, and let the people around you that you can trust, let them help. Let them be there for you. Detachment is okay. You don't want to be codependent on people. You don't want to be codependent on people. But I do feel like there's a need to allow some people to step in to help you push forward instead of you thinking that you have to do it all on your own. Because when we think that we have to do it all on our own and we fail, it, you know, could be a disaster of epic proportions, because then you get into the Nine of Swords and you don't want to do that. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderfully beautiful week. I am on Patreon also, so if you would like to be a subscriber on Patreon, I'm uploading extended soulmate reading. There are 3 different ways you can support me on Patreon. You can do the basic, which is the extended soulmate readings that are uploaded every month. You can get the twin flame option only, where you're only getting the energies for the twin flame on a weekly basis or a couple of times a week. I'm also doing like a series of what is a twin flame versus a karmic, yeah, yada, 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 yada. And like the signs and synchronicities and all of that. So that will all be all over on Patreon. Or you can get the top tier option, which is all of the above. Plus, I'll be adding some meditations and stuff for each season when I get my bearings. I'm still recovering from January. Like, January was an entire year, basically. And so I'm still recovering from, like, we had a year within a year already. So, and if you would like to do personal readings, I am still offering the 20% off Reiki. For first time Reiki customers, it's 20% off. Email me for details. Any other reading, fearlessintuition.net. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you later. Bye.